So first of all, welcome everyone to our virtual keynote. So we're excited to have you all here today. We're just waiting for a few other attendees to join us. So please bear with us for just a few more minutes. We'll get started as soon as everybody is ready. Thank you for your patience. Okay. But the number isn't increasing and it's 6 past.
Yeah, I would start. Maybe some will still join.
Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. We're excited to host an Apple consultancy webinar for Apple resellers featuring esteemed colleague Robert Seideman. The reason we are hosting this webinar is to provide valuable insights and strategies to help you better serve your customers, improve your sales and grow your business. Robert Seideman is an expert in an Apple consultancy network and has years of experience working with resellers in the Netherlands to help them succeed. He will be sharing his insights and his best practices for utilizing the ACN program to its full potential. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the floor to you, Robert. He will take you through the details of the ACM program and share his insights and strategies. Thank you, and over to you, Robert.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Christoph, for the introduction, and hello, everyone. I'm sitting in Amsterdam. I'm the SMB lead for the Benelux within Apple Enterprise. So enterprise means everything but is B2B, from self-employed to large accounts. And I'm really looking after the initiatives in the SMB space, so cross-channel, and one of them is the District Partner Program. So that's where you're part of. So and in that case, extent, I'm also leading the Apple Consultant Network Program for the Benelux. So yeah, let's start. So it's about 3-4 years ago that Apple said, hey, we have a huge opportunity in SMB, something we were not active in. Of course, SMB customers buy our products, but we had no tangible approach, active approach towards this segment. So it was always consumer, and we had some of the enterprise teams that were very small and still are small today, active on more major accounts. But luckily, 4 years ago, they said, okay, let's activate our strategy around SMB. But this is also when the District Partner Program started around 4 years ago. So that's now running its 4th year. But this is also because we saw this is a huge opportunity, of course. It's more than 90% of the companies and more of 50% of employment. This is actually if you go up to, I think, 10 employees. So if a complete SMB, you're even much higher, and there is not much left outside SMB actually. So it's a huge potential for us. And what's happening today, and this is from October last year, so it's a Dutch Netherlands heading, but it says that the PC market has collapsed and Apple was the only one to grow. And why is this? So what we see is that the Mac is doing really well, and we believe we are kind of in a momentum. That Mac is not the exception anymore. It's growing fast, and this is driven by a younger generation. So if I'm not sure in how it looks in the coffee bar in Brussels, for instance, in the morning, but here in Amsterdam, you see 80% being used by Mac, by young people sitting there. And we did a research coming out of school, around 70-80% is using a MacBook. And if we have, with our authorized resellers, programs that are called employee choice programs, so we enable the accounts to actually offer next to PC also Mac, then at least 60% is also choosing for the Mac. So the demand from the end user is there. the businesses, the companies, their employers are not always enabled, and this is where we have a role to play, of course. So there is this big demand. That's why we are growing in a market actually that is declining. I must say we are growing not as fast as we have hoped. Of course, we are also impacted by the market and the macro circumstances, but still it's going really well. So what is our share? So our share is around, in our region, in the Benelux region, is around 11% overall, is the PC laptop of the desktop laptop share for the Mac and the iMac, right? So that's not a lot. If you then hear about the demand from this younger generation that is floating into the SMB space as being employed or being independent, if you look at these employee choice numbers that I just shared with you, with at least 60%, then our ambition of 20% is very realistic to hit soon. So this is where we're heading, and that means we're going to sell a lot of Mac, and that's we want to do with you. We want you to be part of that opportunity, and because of that, we have to think about what is important to explain to our customers about the Mac. So what is now in this time crucial for them to understand? And one is, so what are the total costs of ownership of a Mac? And this is a research done. You can, so this is also some Dutch, it's a Dutch screens, but we have this document in English. It will explain the value and the cost of a Mac versus a PC. You can create your own perception around this, but it's about software upgrades, it's about service tickets, it's about energy cost, it's about residual value. And then if you look at the Mac after 2-3 years and you have the soft component, the pleasure of working with it, that some really appreciate, then how does this compare to other PC models? And I know the Surface is already in the same pricing scheme as the MacBook Air. Of course, we have other laptops that are much cheaper, but then if you make this comparison, so this document you can get from your team at Tech Data. So you can ask for that, or I don't know if this has already been shared, but that's very interesting. So it's the TEI from Forrester Research that is done. But this is really important in these days where a lot of companies are going to look at cost, look at investment, that we are able to explain. So what is the difference between a PC and a Mac, and how does this look from a cost perspective? So it's not just, hey, a Mac is expensive. No, it isn't. But please, I want to ask you, create your own perspective in how you look at this, and don't say this is, maybe this is a bit biased, but look at it and make up your own perspective and use that to be able to offer both platforms to your customer. So why focus on the Mac? So of course, one-stop shop, you will be able to also answer the needs of your customer that has a question for Mac, and that question is growing by the employees of that company. It's a growth market, like I just shared. It is a platform, so it's not just a device. And so if they already use an iPhone, there is a lot of benefits if they use multiple devices on a network. The stability, it sounds a bit cliche, but still, if I ask a lot of our customers or resellers that work on a Mac, then the stability, opening up the machine and it's running straight away, is always they mentioned. So it's still very important, and probably it's still different than the experience that a lot of have on a PC. The residual value, of course, is strong on Apple devices, and the revenue margin. So you could say, yeah, you might have a 10% margin on that €600 machine, but if you have 5%, 6% on that €1,000 machine, in a way that kind of reflects in the same way, and if you offer that in a lease construct and you can refresh it after a few years, then you still have a lot of residual value or trade-in options there left to build some margin with. So so these are some things I thought to share. And then, yeah, so we get to the strength of Apple. The strength of Apple at work is combining our platform, devices, and the software. So we are the only vendor that's combining hardware, software, and services. But it's not easy for an SMB customer to understand how they can make this work for themselves, right? How they can deploy and manage this, how they can ensure that their employees get everything out of it. asks for knowledge, it asks for skills, and that will cost time. There's a cost factor there. So this is why we have the Apple Consultant Network. The Apple Consultant Network exists already for 23 years. And you have 5 Apple consultants today in Belgium. When we started reigniting the program 1.5 years ago, we had 11. One was a training center and 10 consultants. So obviously, in the beginning of around 2000, when the program started, it was all about Mac. There was no iPhone yet. 2007, iPhone was added. Around 2011, the iPad came. And just after that, we launched services as VPN and all these kind of more enterprise or B2B services that are needed to offer a secure solution. And since then, it went very fast because then the Apple consultants started to work on deployment and management. Device enrollment was added. You guys can utilize manual device enrollment with Apple Configurator. So this is what ACNs do, all right? So they enroll and manage the devices, and they do that already for 20 years. Before it was only Mac, then iOS, iPhone and iPad were added. We had actually 2 cultures, and now most of the ACNs do both. They do Mac and mobile devices. So yeah, and this is where, from a worldwide research, where they're active. So the average ACN is active for 75% approximately in small that we call 200 seats. And then mid is up to 1,000. So this is where the majority is active. And obviously when it's 1,000, up to 1,000 or larger, they have certain elements that are Apple within that infrastructure that they manage. And probably this company will work with other IT partners as well. But in the small section, this is where they, in a lot of cases, manage the complete environment of a customer. So what's important to understand, the Apple Consultant Network in the past was only doing consultancy work. So it was based on hours, uurtje factuurtje, hour of work an hour, invoice an hour. And that changed now. So since 1.5 years, the Apple Consultant is allowed to also resell hardware. That wasn't in the past. So that means that those who resell hardware obviously can become an Apple Consultant. And why is this important? Because many of you probably sell PC, and some of you also not only sell the PC, but you offer a managed workspace, perhaps with Intune. And it's important to understand, to offer that complete workspace solution with Windows-based. But now your customer asks for a Mac, and the Mac you can also manage in Intune. So what we also want to try to achieve through the Apple Consultant Network, that every partner in the program is aware of that. And if they need assistance with that we can support with that. So we offer also demo webinars that we can organize with you guys, with Christoph and Evie, for you to demonstrate this. It's not that we are the expert in Intune, so we will not go very deep on Intune, but we will explain how to set up Apple Business Manager, how to set up the Mac in Apple Business Manager in Intune, and how we make that connection. So it will definitely help you to get it set up. And also because we believe this is a very strong combination. I know we have a very strategic partnership with Jeff, and we talk about other MDMs, but some research shows us that 50% of the managed workstations are managed in Intune. So for us, it's very convenient, because if an end customer wants a Mac, and this is the existing management software, then that's an option to first go with, instead of have this focus for Jamf or another application that might create also more resistance within your customer to change all these things to just have a Mac in the business. So something we can help with. So in general, key activities, like every IT reseller, and many of you do, IT management, talk about solutions, oplossingen, technology assessments, installation and support, deployment and management. So in this sense, this is the ACN doing, but then for the Apple platform, right? So who are these ACNs? I have a few examples from the Netherlands. So Card Services is also a repair partner of us. So imagine they are a repair partner for a long time. They're also Apple consultant, always part of the community. But they were never allowed to. So when the machine was not able for repair, they had to send them away and say, "Hey, you can buy it somewhere else." But now they can obviously try to make the repair, offer the support, and if needed, they can also offer a new machine. So in these kind of cases, it's really good that we made these changes in the program, and that CART is offering a complete solution. Invict is a DPP partner of us. Family business, very small, became ACN, want to offer more value to their customer. Route 3. So Martin is coming from the APR, the previous APR of the Netherlands. He built his own company. They're now at 16 heads. They're going very fast. They have larger customers in the mid segment. Also some really big names that they are supporting. Very clear focus. One of our best ACNs in knowledge. So this is the list with 5. I know we have a few onboarding now in Belgium as well, so that's going really well. So this list won't be 5 for a long time anymore. Yeah, and hopefully you guys or some of you feel that this program can be of value of you. So what could be the value, right? So what are the benefits? So first, it is the locator. So you will be found. So if somebody searches on Apple and consultant, then they will get to this landing page of Apple. They mention their company size and their postcode, and they will get a list of ACNs in the neighborhood. And on the locator, you will tell about yourself in 3 categories. So one is IT, one is solutions, one is Apple status. IT means I'm Jam certificate of MS 101 on Intune, or I have Cisco infrastructure certification, etc. Solutions, so IT, we will validate actually. So that's because it's a formal process, right? You have a certificate, a formal certificate that you can upload. Solutions is more free. It's I'm in education and healthcare, or this is how you want to present yourself. Obviously, someone will click on your website link and they will have to see the same thing, right, on your website. And your Apple status is also because we have authorized resellers in there with education partners, repair partners. So all the official statuses can be found there. So those are the categories. This is the example from Route 3. It's a very extensive one. They're absolutely not all like this with all these certifications. And they have a lot of good reviews, recensions. So I just thought, it's good to see how that looks like. And yeah, if you become ACN, you will have your locator profile as well. If you sign up in the program and you have one consultant, you can create one profile on the locator. If you have 2 consultants, you could choose to have, here it says hoofdkantoor, that means headquarters, Haarlem. You could have Haarlem, you could have Antwerp, you could have an additional location like Brussels. So, and you just need you sign one contract with us. And depending on the number of consultants, you could have also a bigger presence in the region, okay? This is the channel signature, so that's the logo actually. Yeah? So today you don't have a logo of Apple. This is a logo that you then can use in a certain way. So yes, it's a combination of the logo and the letters, not just the logo, of course. You get access to marketing materials, keynotes, asset kits, campaigns. So specifically for you guys, I know you have in the DVP program already some asset kits and options, but here you have a little bit extra, some other options. You will be invited by the worldwide team from Cupertino to join events and program updates. They will share a lot of best practice cases. We also have some local events in the Netherlands that we're going to invite our Dutch-speaking Belgian partners for as well. And hopefully soon we will have one. And I'm asking with my French colleague to have the French Asians in the future joining in their community events. So, and a lot of these are virtual, so you can join easily. But we also have physical ones once in a half year in Amsterdam. So yeah, if you're Dutch speaking, then then you can reach out to us and you can join. Of course, there's technical training. This is a very important part, and it's also a requirement. I will get back to that in a minute. You will have some additional tools and some a word follow. Sorry, some tools and resources. It was saying. So, for instance, you will get access to Apple Care 24 hours a day. It's a US number, so that's why it's 24 hours. So it's in English, but in this way, you can always ask questions to Apple Care software related. So 80-90% of questions from your customers or employees might be software related. So if you have a service contract to have kind of a help desk role to your customer on their Apple platform, then you can use Apple Care to get your answers as well in that sense. We are building a community, so that's why there is a Mac admin group. This is a worldwide group where all questions are being asked based on Mac technical questions, and ACNs help each other out there. And we in the Netherlands, we also have a local Slack channel, and if you want, you can be invited to that community as well. So the community thing and the events, local events, are very important. It's different on the commercial side. You see that obviously you are more competitive, but on the technical side, we see a lot of collaboration actually. T's and C's, so terms and conditions. So this is the new training sessions. Well, new, it's now almost 9 months already that they're live. So Apple device support and Apple deployment and management. Last year they were available. This year Apple device support is mandatory to become an ACN. Okay, so and it is a serious training, so it will take you at least 12 hours to go through this and to certify yourself. So I just want to, it's a, you get training document, there are some white papers, you have to go through it all. And in the Netherlands we will organize, this is not confirmed yet, but we hope to organize a 2-day training event to prepare our ACNs to certify themselves for this exam. So they have to do the exam themselves on their own moment, but we're going to have a training session for, let's say, 2 days for 4 hours a day with led by our training center, LAE. And we can always check if there's also something done in France. It means that for the existing ACNs, they have to complete this training, Apple device support, before the 1st of December. But if you onboard now as ACN, you have to do it to onboard, to become an ACN. So we can always see what we can do to support you in this. Maybe we can organize a quick webinar in a few months for the new attendee, for the new ACNs amongst you. So we're definitely here to support that. But it will help us to get everyone on the same level and being able to offer the right support to their customers and really take that next step next to selling the product to be able to deploy and manage the product as well. All right, so virtual sales series, it's a webinar, open webinar program. It's also more for your sales team, Smite, or for you. If you want to understand more about product and platform of Apple in SMB, in the enterprise space, about leasing, about small business. So this will always be updated, and your distributor will share these the link and where you can see what sessions will be organized in the coming future. And then what are other requirements? So you have to have a website that shows that you are supporting SMB customers, so B2B customers. US thing, you have to be insured, like every company is in the Netherlands and probably as well in Belgium. You pay a membership fee of €370, €69 a year, including VAT, and you sign a 2-year contract. Okay, and I'm actually not sure because they just changed it in a 2-year contract how they organize this with the fee, or that the fee is for 2 years. So I have to be guilty to provide this answer later on, or when you sign up, you will get the information as well. By the way, the device support training, there is a cost element there of €80 for the exam, and we give 2 vouchers for an ACN signing up to complete that training for 2 persons to enable you to do 2 exams for free. So that we support. So the next steps, we're at the end. That is obviously to visit the website. If you Google on Apple space consultant, you will see all the information. And this is the QR code. If you have questions, you can always reach out to acn@apple.com. This is my colleagues in London and in the US that will answer your questions. Daniel, Omar, Brian. So they are, and if you doubt about or you get no answer, you can always put me on CC. I'm happy to support. So yes, best for users, best for IT, best for business. This is where we want to go with the Apple Workspace and definitely with the Mac. So this is my summary slide, and I would like to open it up, Christoph and Evie, for any questions. If there are any.
I think there are any questions.
Or maybe they will come up now. A bit of a cold, sorry.
Maybe if you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourself.
It's also fine.
Is it possible to join from our Luxembourg? Alexander.
That's a good question. I'm not sure, but I think, by the way, yes, it can, but I will confirm it to Christoph. Okay, so let me get back to you on that one. I just want to be sure that I'm not saying something that's not, but I thought that my colleague, let me see, Daniel from the Luxembourg. No, sorry. We don't have the program in Luxembourg though. Let me know if we need to fix that, he's asking. So if we should, let me know.
From Edwin, what's the best way to start the program?
The best way is to go to the website, sign up. What happens is you will get a few questions will be asked. Obviously, they will check your website, see if you position yourself as an SMB IT reseller. You will get an email with a contract. You can sign that, and then after the contract is signed, you will get an email with all the training, the box folder, so everything in a clear email, step by step, what you have to do to onboard. And then when you're onboarded, you'll get access to the locator, and on the locator, then you can create your profile. So on average, we see that it takes 1 to 2 months that we are through the process. That has to do with both parties being busy, I guess. But yeah, so go to the website and submit.
To Edwin, we'll be sending out a newsletter as well at the end of this webinar. So I will put more information about the program and how to subscribe. Another question from Kurt. Wat zijn de extra marges binnen dit programma? Welke voordelen?
So this is not hardware attached on margins. So this is a program that supports you. It enables you to deploy and manage our products and build managed services. So you offering service to your customer based on our platform, so that you can create a great revenue stream and margin on that. So this is yes, and you can resell products. You get your functional discount from Christoph and the DPP program, but this program enables you to add value to your transaction.
Okay. No other questions, I think. Okay. Then I want to thank you, Robert.
Sure.
For the informative session about ACN. We hope you all find it insightful and helpful for your business. As earlier mentioned, we'll be sending out a newsletter with more information on ACN and the registration process. We encourage you to sign up for the program and take advantage of the benefits that Robert explains, as it can bring to a boost to your business. So once again, thank you, Robert, for attending and hosting this webinar. and also all of you for joining. Look forward to continuing our partnership with you all. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
See you all soon. Thanks, Robert. Bye.